Hi, I'm Lee Benz, the home scholar, and I got a question from Rachel in Louisiana who wanted some ideas on how to make record keeping super easy for homeschool high school. So I know that there's a lot of intense people out in the world, but I'm going to give you the super easy strategy, all right? So if you're like Rachel, listen up. The super easy strategy is to get a box or a Rubbermaid tub from your local Costco, right? Get that box, put it right in your living room, right where you're doing most of your homeschool, and then that's where you start putting your high school records. It would be awesome if people like Rachel would say, what is a super easy record keeping strategy? And then I could give them something complicated where she would sit down and do that record keeping for an hour every day. But you know what? The people that ask for the super simple questions like that, they aren't going to do that. And so that's why I usually kind of get real about how you asking that question will actually get this job done. And the answer is so simple. You get that box, you put it in the room where you do most of your homeschooling, and that's where you keep your homeschool records. When you're thinking about what is it you're going to keep, all right, you want to be keeping whatever is required by your state homeschool law. So maybe they asked for testing, or they asked for a declaration that you're going to homeschool, or maybe they ask for, I don't know, that you've taught math. Whatever is required by your state law, you put something in that box that's going to show that you followed state law. The next thing you want to do is keep anything in that box that you might need later on, because while you're homeschooling, eventually, this is really true, eventually you're going to have to make a transcript and course descriptions. All right, that's just the way that it is. So you want to put things in that box that are going to help you do that. So if you can keep receipts of the things that you purchased to homeschool, not just the textbooks, but the games and the receipts from the theater or from the museum or whatever, putting that all in there. One little tip is that if you are a person that uses textbooks, if you can make a copy of the front cover of your book and the table of contents, that's really going to help you with your course descriptions later on. But you put everything in that box that you might possibly need down the line for your transcripts and your course descriptions. That also means anything that you have graded goes in there as well. And then the third thing that you want to keep in this little humble box in the corner of your room is anything that college might ask you for when you apply. What if they asked you for a sample from that class? Then you want to be thinking about where would I get that sample? You're going to store it in that box. So if your child has produced a test in math, colleges might say, I'd like to see some math done in the student's handwriting. And if you have that in your box in the corner, you'll be able to find that. The other thing you can be thinking about is, so what happens if I don't have a sample of something? What happens if the college asks you for a class and you hadn't prepared? So you kind of want to be thinking in the back of your head, if the college that we applied to wanted a sample of work in that subject, what would I provide? All right. Quick and easy way to do that is when you have your children writing papers during the week, once in a while have them write a paper about one of these subjects that you're teaching that really has kind of nothing to show for itself, right? I know that when we were homeschooling, a lot of times that would be things like, oh, maybe PE, we would write about PE, or the fine arts. That was such a hard thing for me to teach. With the fine arts, we'd have them write about that. With French, we were so focused on, trying, not doing a very good job, but trying to speak, that once a year I'd have them sit down and write something for French class. Now it might be a report about a country that speaks French. It doesn't have to be, prose in French. Although you could do that too if you were way smarter than me. So anyway, to make it really simple, don't go complicated. Don't go, thinking you're going to spend an hour a day doing stuff that, you and I both know isn't going to happen. Instead, get a box for the corner of the room. In that box, you put things that will show that you've obeyed state law, They're going to help you make your transcript and course descriptions, and that colleges might ask you for to see a sample in that class. That's my super simple tip. I hope that helps.